So as we know that in yesterday's class, we studied what is biodegradable and as well as non-biodegradable waste. Is it yes or no, guys? So can anybody define what do you mean by biodegradable and what do you mean by non-biodegradable? Please. So biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Please speak. So as we know that whatever the waste materials which can be broken, by whom can be broken, and they will converting into non-poisonous substances in nature in a given period of time by the action of microorganisms. Means microorganisms will start eating and they will make it into a useful products which is not poisonous to this atmosphere or ecosystem. That is what we used to call as biodegradable. So we can make a lot of examples for this biodegradable. Anybody can say? So we can make animal bones. We can say examples, leather, hay. Tell me, last class I have told you that wood, paper, and etc. All these things will come under biodegradable waste. If it comes to the non-biodegradable, means in the sense of what? Here can be broken, here cannot be broken by microorganisms, and it is not possible to make them to convert non-poisonous. Means because of this non-biodegradable, it is causes a effect or adverse effect to the atmosphere, which it is like we can say they are very harmless. It is not possible to make them into non-poisonous or harmless substances. So due to this, some bad effect to the atmosphere. So that is what we used to call as non-biodegradable waste. In that, the most affected non-biodegradable waste which we have been studied, what is that, guys? DDT. So can anybody say what is the full form of DDT, please? Yes, please. I'm asking you only. DDT full form, please. Anybody? Hey, what are you people are there or not in meeting? Those who are not interested, you leave from this meeting. No issues. So DDT is the non-biodegradable waste. So it can be passed along to the food chain. That is why it is considered as a most poisonous non-biodegradable waste, because this DDT will pass through the food chain or food web along with the what from the crops to the man and other animals and birds, and it will start harming them. So that is why this is considered as the most dangerous. DDT has been banned from use in most countries. So if you take, I don't want like this blind people, you all nonsense this is. So this is DDT. This DDT is a non-biodegradable, and the main, it will affect on our nervous system. So all the things, including the plants, it will pass through the crops only mainly. So after that, it will be entering into the every animal, including the human beings. So that is why it will be affect on our neuron system and as well as nervous system. So that is why our vertebral column backside only it will be affect. So that is the reason it has been banned by. It's not supposed to use it in most of the countries. If you'll see that. So that is why we can say all the non-biodegradable waste. Like it's not only that. If you'll take the plastics, if you'll take the polythene bags, if you'll take the ballpoint pen refills, synthetic fibers, glass objects, metal articles, everything, they all are called as non-biodegradable waste, because of them it is some bad effect to the atmosphere or environment. That is why they are called as pollutants. So the most major pollutants of the environment is non-biodegradable waste only. So we have been taken a lot of things So as you know, for example, if you consider discard of plastic articles and glass articles and as well as metal articles, you might be noticed that these all are called as what? Non-biodegradable waste materials, which causes a lot of pollution to our surroundings. So it will cause us, suppose if we take plastic bags, so where we can dump, suppose if it will be goes inside the soil, then it will never allow to absorb that, and never allow the water by absorbing by the earth or soil. So that it will, what will happen, groundwater will never increases. That is why you can see the polythene bags is most dangerous one, because they will be formed like a layer under that where it will never allow the soil to absorb the rainwater or etc etc. So now in our today's class, you can see we'll continue from here and we'll make a simple experiment which how you can find out whether a given material is a biodegradable or non-biodegradable. That is what we have to do. So suppose I have given you some unknown thing which you don't know name. So that how we can prove, sir, it is a biodegradable or non-biodegradable. So for that, what we have to take means, for example, let us take a piece of paper. You all know that piece of paper. Is it yes, guys? A piece of paper, you know or not? So let me take the paper, or let me take a piece of old cloth, a piece of old cotton cloth. Let me take. Now, if you'll notice it, and also you can take a plastic bag. So you might be see, this is already we know that these two are biodegradable and this is non-biodegradable. But you have to be plastic bag. Also we can call it as what, guys? It is a polythene bag. So now if we'll take this all the three, now dig a ground to about 15 centimeter depth. It's like a half of the scale, or you can dig even till 30 centimeter also. So according to your convenience. So dig a depth of earth, you have to dig it minimum 15 to, you can dig 30 centimeter also, doesn't matter. So I have to make a pit which is having a depth of how much, guys? Having a depth of 15 centimeter. Now you can see, and you place all the piece of paper, understanding, and a piece of cloth, cotton, and as well as polythene bag, PY I have written. So all I kept and I buried under with the soil. So now you can notice it here, guys, cotton cloth and plastic bag. I used to dug up a separate ground separately. So means in the sense of, so in one place, you can take it. I have been placed paper and a cotton cloth and polythene bag. So now you can see I used to cover with the soil. So if you'll see all of you, so leave these buried materials in the ground for about, it's like you can take 20 days to 30 days or 1 month, or you can take 2 months also. So now after 1 month, if you again start removing this soil, so that what is happening, guys, what we can observe, that you can tell me, please.
Polythene will
Yes.
not.
Yeah, so you can notice it. This paper will never be fine, and almost the cotton cloth also. Yes or no? But cotton cloth compared to the paper, it will be little bit more time it will consume. So if you'll take after 1 month or 20 days after, if you'll dig it, and if you'll observe them, you'll find that a piece of paper and the piece of cotton cloth have been partially eaten up. Understand? It's not completely, because it will take little bit time. So it has been partially eaten by whom, guys? Eaten by whom? Partially eaten or decomposed. Understanding? Decomposed, but the plastic bag remains unaffected. It will never be changed. Nothing has been eaten by any microorganisms. So it will be remains unaffected. So it has not been eaten up. So means in the sense of what? This paper and as well as cotton, we used to call it as biodegradable, and plastic bag, polythene bag, we used to call it as what, guys? Non-biodegradable. Is it yes or no? Because which is eaten up by the microorganisms and become harmless to the society or ecosystem is only called as, what we used to call, biodegradable waste. So the plastic bag does not being decomposed by the microorganisms present in the soil. So that is why We can say what, guys? The plastic bag is a non-biodegradable, and paper and as well as cotton, we can say that degradable waste. So from this, what we can say, so whatever it is, the decomposers organisms are not able to decompose the plastic into simpler harmless substances. Like that, any substance, if it is unable to eaten up by the decomposers, if it is unable to converting into harmless substances, do you understand, everybody? Or non-poisonous substances, they all are called what, Ranidinath? Everything is called as non-biodegradable waste. That is what the word you have to remember. So degradable and biodegradable, the main keywords you have to write it. That is, can be eaten up, can be broken, or can be eaten up by the microorganisms, and converting into what, guys? Non-poisonous to this nature. So this one cannot be broken up or cannot be eaten up by the microorganisms, and it is not possible to make it non-poisonous or harmless substances. That is only called as non-biodegradable waste. So now, if you notice it, so this is what we can make the experiment and we can prove that which is a biodegradable and which is non-biodegradable. Now, if we take here, we will explain why it is. Sir, you can say, for example, I have been taken a paper and I have been taken a polythene bag. So both are called as what, guys? Articles. Yes or no? Please respond. Nobody? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I used to call it as this polythene bag is also one type of article. This is also material. Yes or no, guys? This is also substance. So now this is also substance. Now, if my doubt is, as we know, paper is called as what, guys? Biodegradable or non-biodegradable? Biodegradable. This is called as non-biodegradable. My question is, why some materials are biodegradable and why others are non-biodegradable? Did you understand what I am asking? So that is what we will study now. So if you notice it, guys, the microorganisms is the key role which will decide either a given substance is a degradable or biodegradable, which will be decided by a microorganisms. So microorganisms example, anybody can say? Yalni, Momiga, please call to others, please, guys. May call to Dina, Pranav and all, etc., everybody. May I call to absentees. So now, please respond me. Tell me, Jesse, call to Madhumita. Now you tell me how, what is the example of microorganisms? Anybody?
Mushrooms, sir.
As what? Microorganisms also we can call it as what? Any other decomposers we can say. Do you understand, everybody? For example, let me take. So now, sir, my question is, why some materials are biodegradable and whereas some materials are non-biodegradable? Let us see what is happening. So if we take the microorganisms, so for example, the well-known microorganisms which is eaten after our death, the body is also eaten by these. So if we'll take the basically like some bacteria, most of the bacteria, if you'll take under the earth, they are all microorganisms. In the soil, they'll be present. And if we'll take some other decomposers, so this is what a decaying of a dead matter will be eaten up by these. So this is a decomposer organisms. For example, you can say saprophytes. You might be heard, guys. Saprophytes. So what do you mean by saprophytes? Anybody? Saprophytes means what? Yes, which will eaten up a dead and decaying matter. Understanding? Which will be surviving by consuming a dead bodies or dead and decaying matter. So now, if we take these microorganisms like this bacteria and other decomposer organisms like saprophytes, understanding? Present in our environment or the specific in their actions. Understand? So they will break down the natural materials or products made from natural materials. Do you understand, everybody? So these microorganisms, they are very, very specific. They know that which is made from the natural substances and which is made from synthetic substances. Prima, everybody. So that is what Understand? So whatever the substances, they will break down only natural materials or whatever the products made from the natural materials, they will break it down and they will converting into non-poisonous to this ecosystem. But they do not break down, they do not react man-made materials such as, for example, what is the man-made materials? Plastics. Do you understanding everybody? So that is the reason, due to this property of decomposer organisms of being a specific in their action. Do you understand everybody? So these all the microorganisms, they're very particular in their action. That is, they are only will eat natural substances or products made by the natural substances or materials. So that is why only biodegradables will be eaten up, and that is eaten up by the microorganisms, and it will be converting into non-poisonous. Understand, guys? But if it comes to the other substances which is man-made, it is not eaten up by them. So that is the reason why some materials are biodegradable, some materials are non-biodegradable. Now, from this explanation, you people can understand two more words. Let me see who will say that. So now, according to this, biodegradable, non-biodegradable, can anybody say the meaning? So biodegradable means what, guys? So before you studied, it is eaten up by the organisms and converting into harmless substances. That is biodegradable. Cannot be eaten up by microorganisms. Not possible to convert. Not broken down into non-poisonous is called as non-biodegradable. Now, according to this definition, can anybody say any two words? How we can say biodegradable, non-biodegradable?
Natural nature.
Very good. Biodegradable means what, guys?
Naturally made.
Yes, natural materials are products of natural materials. Please remember that. And non-biodegradable means man-made materials like such as plastics, metals and all. So you might be asking me, sir, metals is made up of nature only, correct? But it is, we people are extracting, they will be in the form of some other thing inside the earth. It will be extracting and processed by the human. That is why it is not. So these are the things. So that is the reason why some materials are biodegradable and whereas some other are non-biodegradable. So please all of you write the point. Write the question first, like a heading. Why some materials are biodegradable whereas others are non-biodegradable? Others are non-biodegradable. What is that, guys? It is due to the answer. It is due to the, a call to option is, it is due to the property of, it is due to the property of decomposer organisms, decomposer organisms. So what is the examples of decomposer organisms, guys? Bacteria and as well as these all organisms, decomposer organisms, what we used to call? They are called as saprophytes. Understand, everyone? That is also you have to remember, saprophytes. So saprophytes means what? Examples like mushrooms also we can say, that is also a non-green plants. They are also will grow on dead decaying plants. That is why. So that is how to remember, right? Decomposer organisms of being specific in their action of being specific in their actions. Kevin, are you there in meeting? Action that some waste materials are biodegradable, whereas others are non-biodegradable. That is. Understand, everybody? Krutika, are you there in meeting? Bhumika, have understand? Sutir, Sanjay, that is. So now this is what we can say the reason behind why it is a biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Arvind, call to Kevin Ra. My option is just inform them one by one. Now you can see. If you notice it, for example, if you'll go to the shopping mall, you might be visited in our Pudukkottai only. If you'll go to so many like Taragai, next to Ariganon, etc., etc., if you'll go, or else if you'll go to some hotel, or else you might be visited some mess or something. So you might be noticing a different varieties of bags you used to find it. So now you please tell me, what kind of bags you people use during like a shopping bags or carry bags? What is the bags you people are using? Anybody? Nitinath? Tarani, what is the carry bags you people are used? Please let me know. Sriya, few kinds of bags. Anybody? If you go to the shopping yard, what kind of bags?
Jute bags.
Jute bags. Very good, guys. If you go to the buy shopper, so that's fine. So notice it. Majorly, if you go a certain kind of thing, for example, you might be visited a trends in our Trichy. Have you visited, guys? Anybody trends in Trichy? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Or
Yes, sir.
if you go to Bata showroom also, you might be notice it for the slippers. They used to give a bag which is made up of paper. Have you noticed it? Paper it is. It is not any kind of a jute or anything. Is it yes, guys? Please respond. Paper carry bags. Yes or no? But it is little bit strong. Now, if you go to the D-Mart, you might be visited a Trichy D-Mart. So you might be notice it. There they will give the bags which is made up of cloth. Have you seen? The bag will be 29 rupees. I think you have to charge it 29 rupees. Is it yes? Please. Yes or no? So this is made up of what, guys? Cloth carry bag. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Now, if it comes to your Adigalam, you can notice it. They will give you the bags, or else if you'll go to our school bags also, they will give you the books in a bag, such a bag. It will be what it is, guys. Anybody? The bag is made up of what?
Cloth.
Jute bag. Do you understand? That is what I am saying. So, this all, if you'll notice it, whatever we are using for the shopping bags, one is made up of what? One is made up of paper bags, and you can find the cloth bags, you can find the jute bags. Now, also we can find this all the things we can call as what, guys? Degradable or non-degradable. They all are called as biodegradable. So biodegradable we used to call it as. Now, if we'll take here, for example, if we'll buy a fruits in the roadside, is it they are providing you these bags? They will never provide these bags. So the common thing, if you'll go to any hotel in our Pudukkottai or anywhere, if you'll go to some small shops and all, they will simply give you a white color or a yellow color or orange color cover. Is it yes or no, guys? Please respond. Yes or no? So this orange color one, where we can keep the bag, all the things. So this is made up of what, guys? This is only made up of what? A polythene bag. Is it yes or no? So these polythene bags, it is what? A non-biodegradable waste. So that is the reason even recently our Stalin government is also banned this polythene bag usage. You might be heard it in news also. Have you noticed it? He has been released a bag which is made up of jute. All the people should going outside. Fire we have to carry. Is it yes or no? If you go to the market also, and if you go anywhere, they used to ask you. Now, if you'll see, even for me also nowadays, they are asking, do you have any paya means cover? You came with any bag? Like that, they will ask. If you'll say no only, they will give the cover. Because government is taking a strict actions to minimize the usage of a non-biodegradable waste like this polythene covers. So that is why always we have to go with a degradable substances which is not causes harmful to the nature or ecosystem. So now here I am using a word called as a nature or ecosystem or our atmosphere or surroundings. Now let us understand what do you mean by this ecosystem. So this is what the concept we used to called as degradable and non-biodegradable. Is it okay, guys? Biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Any doubt, anybody, you can ask me. So now if you'll see, definitely it may having a chances to ask definitions also, because it is very easy chapter. All it is the theoretical knowledge only. There is no there is no complexity and there is no difficulty levels in there. So now this is all about the degradable and non-biodegradable wastage. Now we are going to study the concept called as ecosystem. Do you understand, everybody? So now let us understand, according to your view, you are not familiar, you are already well familiar with this. Now let me know, according to your view, what do you mean by ecosystem? At least few people need to answer me. What do you mean by ecosystem? Arya, Jesse, Prahasini, anybody? Sanjay, what do you mean by ecosystem? Please respond. According to you, what do you
Where
mean
we
by
all live, sir.
at least? Yes, please. Somebody is speaking something.
Where we all live.
Yeah, where we are all live is called as ecosystem. That's fine. Next, any other definition?
Sir, an ecosystem where everything meets at one place, like plants, animals, and human beings, where like water,
Yes,
living and
very
non-living things come
so
together.
now, yeah, very good, very good. So that is what. So very good, Fia. Very good, Elamati. So now, if you notice it, guys, ecosystem means, for example, in our human itself, we used to speak this community, that community, and etc. etc. That is not, it is called as ecosystem. I am using a word, just a community, for the better understanding. So different varieties of communities you used to see in the human itself. The same way, usually humans are fully, we used to call it as one communities, and plants one community, non-living things one community, like that. So if you take, what do you mean by ecosystem means, is a various communities of living organisms. Purima, everybody. So all the different varieties of living organisms means, in the sense of what is the living organisms examples? Arya, living organisms examples, what, guys? It is plants and as well as animals. Do you understand? Interact among themselves and as well as with their physical environment, means in the sense of what? With the non-living things, non-living organisms. Like what is a non-living organisms, guys? Please respond. That is a soil, air, and as well as water. That is what. So this is only ways to called as ecosystem. Means being a part, being adjusting with all the different communities of plants and as well as animals, living organisms, and interacting among ourselves with the physical environment like the soil, air, and water is only called as, what ways to called, guys? Ecosystem. Understand? Now you tell me, is our Pudukota is considered as one ecosystem or not? Can you able to say yes or no? Yes, please respond. Nobody? Is it our Pudukota is considered as one ecosystem or not? Because it is containing water bodies. We are all people living, different communities like living organisms, humans are living, animals are living, plants are living. And if you see, water bodies are there, soil is there, birds in that water bodies, so many birds, so many different animals are there. Then can I consider as this is as one ecosystem? Yes or no, I am asking. Please respond. Yes, guys. So that is what we used to call as ecosystem. Understand? So every community of living organisms will be interacting among themselves with their physical environment. That is what non-living things like soil, air, and water. So all these living organisms interact with one another through their food chains, in which one organism consumes another organism. That is what we used to call as ecosystem. So if we take this living organism, so what is the examples of living organism, guys? Please respond. What is a well-known example of living organism? For example, let me take, please respond here. Living organism. Nobody is answering. Nobody knows.
Human, sir.
Let me
Human
take
being.
plants. Now, first of all, first primary thing is what? Primary thing is plants, correct? So we people are consuming plants. That is why I'm taking as a plants. Now you tell me. So these plants interact with some non-living things. What is that? Majorly, they will be depending on one thing. What is that, guys? They will be interacting
Soil.
among themselves with something. Please speak. That is
Soil.
what will come. Yes, very good. So they will. These plants interact with something to get most of the things. What is that, guys? Please respond.
Soil, sir.
Very good. So these plants, if you notice it, they will interact with the soil and they used to get a few things. What is that, Varsini? Can you say? They will interact with the soil and they used to get what? All the essential nutrients. Understanding? So essential nutrients. So what is that nutrients? Anybody can say. Try to speak. See, opportunity every time it won't come. What is the essential nutrients, guys? You might be studied
Water.
in biology and everything. Yes, very good. Water. And you might be notice it. Along with the water only, it will take the nutrients like
Nitrogen, sir.
NPK. NPK. What is this? NPK means nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. That is what. Do you understand, everybody? So it is interacting with the non-living thing or the physical environment with the soil to get the essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and other etc. etc. Now, if we take these plants will interact with the one more physical environment, that is what? Air, and they used to get something. What is that, guys? Anybody? They used to get something from the air. They used to get something. Please let me know. What is that? There is a well-known process. Please try to communicate. What is that? They used to get what? Carbon dioxide. And this is what it is. And also they used to get, they will be also with the water bodies to carry out. They will observe the water connections with roots, all the roots with the water bodies, so that it will be carried out what, guys? Water plus carbon dioxide. It is what it is. Which reaction it will be carried out? Photosynthesis. Understanding? So to make it what? To produce the food. To produce food. This is what we people knows. Now if we'll take here, so we can say the various communities of living organisms like plants and animals along with the soil and air and water of that particular region from a self-sustaining or functional unit of living world, like with the help of physical environment, by depending on physical environment, these are living organisms. Remember, living organisms also we can called as biotic communities. You might be heard it, biotic and non-biotic. Is it yes or no, guys? So living organisms is called as biotic communities and non-living things is called as abiotic or abiotic communities. Remember that. So the functional unit or a system, whatever if you consider, like plants are interacting with the soil, plants are interacting with air to do the photosynthesis and as well as to get the essential nutrients, everything. So this is all what we should call as a system, which is made up of living and non-living components, which is capable of independent existence. That is only ways to call as ecosystem. Do you understand, everybody? So all the living communities, by interacting among themselves and as well as with the physical environment, they will start living. They will get a capable of independent existence. That is only ways to called as ecosystem. So in this ecosystem, it will be includes all the communities of an area. For example, if we'll consider our Pudukkottai, so this is what I can call as one ecosystem. So now in this ecosystem, what is contained, what it is present, you tell me, guys. So if you take a particular any ecosystem, it will be must be included all the communities. What is that? All the plants we have to include. Next, what it is, guys? Please respond. All the plants we have to include, all the animal communities we have to include, and as well as the functioning. What is the functioning with the non-living things? That is also, it is matters. How these animals are interacting with the non-living things. That is also. And what is that non-living environment? Like soil, air, and water. So these all are called as ecosystem. So a simple definition of ecosystem means what it is, guys? Tell me. It is a both what? It is the a both of living and
Non-living.
non-living communities. That is only called as a ecosystem. So let us see from this all the discussion, we will write a well-known definition